Welcome to the Chefy Experience. My name is Ericka. I am from Nashville, Tennessee, born and raised, and my love from cooking comes from my grandmother. Everybody that knows me knows Dinky. She's always been an inspiration to me, and one of the things that we had to do when we were young was get in the kitchen. I am the oldest sister of 7 siblings, so with the trials and tribulations of growing up with my mother, one of the things was she wasn't always there. So I had to get in the kitchen and cook for my siblings. There was one thing that for sure would get everybody in order. Me being a child myself, they didn't listen. So I would get in the kitchen and cook some things, and it would calm the house down. As you know, food is made with love, and that's what we're gonna do today. So today, we're gonna prepare some amazing dishes. One is a favorite that everybody loves, even when they didn't like it before they had mine, and it's garlic parmesan Brussels sprouts. That is the appetizer. The meal for today is a Tuscan shrimp Alfredo, and our dessert will be a peanut butter cookie ice cream sandwich, and we're gonna top that with a peanut butter sauce. Okay guys, so today we have garlic parmesan flash fried Brussels sprouts. These are a favorite. If you don't eat Brussels sprouts, I promise you, after you have these, you will become a Brussels sprout lover. This is garlic parmesan flash fried Brussels sprouts. We'll be topping it with a honey lime balsamic drizzle and some freshly crumbled bacon. We're gonna go over to the stove now. Okay, and since these are flash fried, we do know how water reacts with grease. We have to be careful not to wash our Brussels sprouts. That is very, very important. You don't even want to wash them and dry them because the water seeps inside the leaves of the Brussels sprouts. So keep in mind, do not wash these. And if they are moist when you buy them, make sure you kind of try to dry them off with a napkin or something. You want to make sure this grease is extremely hot because again, these are flash fried. These are going to fry really quick and they're going to be really crunchy, very good. Doesn't take much seasoning once you cook these. That's why we're only going to add garlic and parmesan. I'm going to drop these now. It's going to make a lot of noise. You need to have something to cover it up because it's gonna be messy as well. So let me do it the best way I see fit, which will be to put them on here. Okay, so like I said, they don't take long to cook. You wanna get a good crispy brown look, and the good thing about this, it cooks the center. A lot of people that do not like Brussels sprouts don't like that center, that crunchy, tangy like taste in the middle. Well, this takes all of that out, and that's why I know everyone will love these Brussels sprouts. They are gonna be very oily because the oil seeps down in the leaves. So make sure you get you a good paper towel down in there to kind of drain some of this oil, and I also kind of pat them dry a little bit because it's a lot of oil that gets into them. Okay, so now that we've cooked these, they're still extremely hot. They're very hot. Don't try to taste one of these coming out the grease. You're gonna burn yourself. So we're just gonna add a little garlic salt. And you don't need much because we're gonna put some Parmesan on them as well. And Parmesan has a nice, good seasoning to it. I like a lot of Parmesan, I'm gonna be honest. So we're gonna put a little bit more, kind of shake them around. I got a nice little platter for them. Hear that crispy. I like mine crispy, I'll be honest. I would've actually cooked them a little longer for myself. So now we have the garlic and the Parmesan on. We're gonna add a little bit more because you can never have too much. And the next thing I'm gonna do is make my little drizzle. I literally freestyle when I create drizzles, and honey lime balsamic drizzle sounded good today. So that's what we're gonna use. You don't need much lime. You don't wanna overpower it. So we're just gonna stir it a little bit. Got a little honey and the balsamic of your choice, because they have a lot of flavored balsamics. They have like a garlic one that's really, really good. Between the lime and the balsamic, it's very flavorful, so you don't need a lot. Then, you know, add a little bit to the plate for the presentation. And then next we will put our bacon. Who doesn't love bacon? Put our bacon on top. You can use your bacon bits, but we made fresh bacon and chopped it up because you get the bigger pieces. And more Parmesan because I love Parmesan, and we wanted to hit some of the bacon too. And there you have your garlic Parmesan flash fried Brussels sprouts topped with the honey lime balsamic and bacon. There you go. Okay, so right now we have a Tuscan shrimp Alfredo, one of my favorite dishes, and did a little research on it because I always wanted to know, you know, where did Alfredo come from, because we all think it's Italian, which it is. A gentleman by the name of Alfredo actually created this dish for his wife that was pregnant. She couldn't eat anything, couldn't keep anything down, so he decided to make this pasta and throw butter and Parmesan in it. Now, I read to try to find out where the cream came from, but only thing that I can think of is that when he made this dish, it was two actors that was in Rome eating one day, and they loved the pasta really well, and they asked him for the recipe, took it back to the States. They created the Alfredo with the cream. It wasn't a big hit in Italy as it is in the United States. But I know that we love it. What made me start making it was I could never find any Alfredo that I like out, to be honest. Also, I chose to make this dish because a lot of people think it's complicated, but it really isn't. It looks like a lot of stuff, but it can be made with less items than this. Mine is Tuscan today because I'm adding the spinach and the tomatoes. Other than that, Alfredo sauce is really simple to make. So we're gonna get into cooking the shrimp first. We're gonna cut the skillet up a little bit. A lot of people use olive oil. I prefer butter. Love butter. We're gonna add, you know, pretty good amount in here because this is also gonna help us create the sauce that we need. With this shrimp, we all know that seafood has its own flavor, so I do not use a lot of seasoning with seafood. With my shrimp, I just use typically a little blackened seasoning, maybe some Cajun seasoning, but yeah, I don't really add too much seasoning because you can overpower the seafood itself. So put my shrimp in, just give me a little Cajun seasoning. Then we'll add a little garlic salt, just a little bit, not too much. And I kind of should have put this in first, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna add a little minced garlic. We're gonna stir it a little bit. Cut this up just a little bit. We're not gonna cook it too long because it also has to go in the pasta, and you don't want, I hate overcooked seafood. It doesn't take much to cook seafood. We have a couple other steps to take, so we're just gonna cook it lightly for about 2 minutes. It smells so good. I love garlic. So we got this evenly coated with all the seasoning and the butter. And then we're gonna transfer the shrimp into a bowl. So yeah, we got it cooked slightly here. We'll add it back once we cook our tomatoes down a little bit. All the seasoning is in this butter, and we're gonna make sure we keep that. All right, so we're gonna add the grape tomatoes. don't have to cook them for too long because they're gonna cook with the pasta as well. So get them coated really well. They don't take long. We don't want them too cooked anyway. I like my vegetables a little firm. We got the skillet on about 7. Then I'm gonna add a little chicken broth. You wanna take that spatula and get all of that seasoning off the skillet. Makes the pasta really, really good. And then now I'm gonna add in the heavy whipping cream. And you wanna cut it down because honestly, a lot of people don't realize why their cream doesn't come out properly. It's because you're not supposed to boil anything with milk. So once it hit that boil, you're kind of scorching it. So just cut it down so it doesn't boil. So I got it on like 4 right now. Then I'm gonna add the Parmesan in. You can use fresh, which is what I actually recommend, because with fresh, it doesn't have that powder like substance. Like if you buy shredded cheese, you're gonna have like a little powder on it, and that's to keep it separated. So when you are trying to figure out why stuff is not melting, that is not melting properly, that is why. But we're gonna use this grated Parmesan. And believe it or not, you don't need as much as you think you need. You can go a long way with a little Parmesan and a lot of heavy whipping cream. You're gonna give it a good stir. I cut it up just a little bit. And like I said, make sure you scrape that pan because you get all of the seasoning up in the sauce. And now I'm about to add the pasta here in a couple of minutes. Okay, so as you see, it's getting a little thicker. Now it's time to put the pasta in. We're gonna put some pasta in and a little parsley. Add some parsley. And with Alfredo or any type of cheese type of sauce, you wanna make sure you're cooking it. Don't be too much of in a hurry because it takes time if you want to get the perfect pasta. I'm now gonna add the shrimp back in and everything that's in the bowl with it. We want all of that in there. All that seasoning from the shrimp. It's really, really good. And I'm gonna add just a little bit more because I do like the Cajun. I like mine just with a little bit of spice to it. So we're just gonna add a little bit more. Give it a good little stir and we'll let it sit. And me personally, I know y'all see the spinach, but I add this in kind of last because everybody knows that when you cook spinach, this is probably 1 serving. And if you add it in too early, then it's gonna look like parsley in there. But I like to taste my spinach, so let it cook a little bit. We want the flavors to get into the shrimp and into the pasta. So we'll give it a couple of minutes while the shrimp is in here, and then we'll add the spinach, in just a moment. Okay, so now that my sauce has thickened up a little bit and we're pretty much at the end, I add my spinach in at the end because I like to taste my spinach. And we all know it disappears. And add a little garlic on my spinach. Then we'll cook it just a little bit longer and this dish will be ready. This is a quick meal that everybody loves and enjoys. So this will cook about another couple of minutes and it will be done. Okay, so we are done here. Our sauce is thick enough. This pan is a little heavy. We're gonna move this over here. Everything is looking good. You gotta be careful with Alfredo because if you put too much cheese, it won't give you that creamy, saucy. It'll be too gritty. And as y'all know, I made this with a little Cajun seasoning, and everything I make, I always gotta add my own little pizzazz to it. I'm from Nashville, and everybody loves Nashville hot chicken. So now it seems like everything we eat has to have something hot in it and a little spice to it. So that's where my Cajun comes from. So you want to make sure you get enough of the veggies, of your shrimp. Also, again, I said I love Parmesan, just like I did with the appetizer. Gonna add a little more Parmesan. And of course, this is my favorite thing. Like when I'm working with some of my workers and we don't have parsley, one of the things they do know is that we gotta find something green. Something like parsley to top it off and give it its little presentation flair. And I even do this, which is funny, at home with the family, not just when I'm cooking and working with clients. This is how my food comes out with my, move this here, with my family. And everybody expects so much, and it's kind of my fault, gets on my nerves, but everybody expects so much when they come to my home and eat, and that's because this is how we serve food in my home. Because down south, you know, we're all about feeding people, and this is a good hearty, savory dish. Also, I made a little bread. We're gonna get that out the oven. Because what is pasta without your garlic toast? You know what? I like two. There you go. So there's your Tuscan shrimp Alfredo. Enjoy. Okay, so now we have dessert, and I chose to make one of my childhood favorites that I cannot find good anymore, because every time I get a peanut butter cookie, tastes like a sugar cookie. So I have gathered several different peanut butter cookie recipes to come up with my own. One of the things that I add in my peanut butter cookies is honey. That gives it a good sweet flavor. Another thing I do, I use a crunchy peanut butter. This is my peanut butter here, and it has peanuts in it. So we'll have some crunchy peanut butter cookies. So this is a crunchy peanut butter cookie ice cream sandwich, and it'll be topped with a peanut butter syrup. With peanut butter cookies or with any baking, you know that your dry items are in your dry bowl with all your dry ingredients. So we have the brown sugar and the white sugar in here. We're gonna add the flour. We're gonna add a teaspoon of our baking soda and 1/4 of salt. And guess what? I give it a little bit more for some reason. I like to taste a hint of that salt. Give it that sweet and salty taste. We wanna mix this really, I'm gonna dump this in here because we're gonna add the wet ingredients anyway. This bowl is bigger. So you mix the dry ingredients really well. Sometimes your sugar got the little chunks. This is the time to kind of mush all of that in. Okay, made a little mess here. It happens. So mix it in really good. So we got our egg. We're gonna beat it just to make it easier when it's come to mixing it. I'm gonna add a tablespoon of vanilla. And again, I told you I like mine a little sweet, so I add just a little bit more of that. So about a tablespoon and a half. I'll have these ingredients on my Instagram page once this is over. Add the peanut butter. And this is a natural peanut butter, so I'm gonna probably add just a little bit more of the crunchy peanut butter to it. You want to get all of that out. And you're gonna add the butter. You want to make sure your butter is softened. Mix it up real good. You can use a mixer without one. So we're gonna do it like old school. That was a luxury to me. So some of the stuff that you would never believe a person wouldn't use a mixer on, I do. Well, I don't, actually. Sorry. So got it mixed up real good. Then we're gonna add it into the dry ingredients. Wanna make sure we get everything in there. And now it's time to mix this up. It was only one other person that could make peanut butter cookies like this, and it was my mama. She didn't do nothing else. She could bake and make amazing Rice Krispie treats. So I don't eat peanut butter cookies nowhere unless I make them, or Rice Krispie treats. As y'all see, it's getting thick. You gotta get down in there and get all of your flour. Oh, it's gonna be thick like I like it. Great. I was a little afraid because of the kind of peanut butter we got today, but it looks like it's gonna work out. I'm gonna get all of the flour and all of the dry ingredients in the wet ingredients. Okay, so like I said, we were making peanut butter cookie sandwiches. So we're gonna make these, the little peanut butter balls, just a little bit bigger than you typically would. For this, I'm gonna say get a nice palm full. Get you a nice ball, because we want to get a nice size cookie for the peanut butter cookie. So this is gonna be about the size we're gonna go for. And that's just for peanut butter cookie ice cream sandwiches. Other than that, I'll show you the size you would typically make to just have cookies. And I'm mushing it really good because I want the sugar and all the butter and everything to come together. So we're gonna put these on here. We're gonna take your fork. Everybody knows with peanut butter cookies, you got the little fork marks in it. I do like 3. I don't want to mess up my cookie, so that's what I do. So these will come out. I'm gonna move this down so as they're baking, it won't mess up. These should come out a nice thick size cookie. Very, it'll be soft in the middle, crunchy on the edge. That's how I like mine. And your typical size, you're gonna just do a nice size little ball. We'll add these on here. They only take about 12 to 15 minutes to bake. I like them hot out the oven. My husband likes his to sit, which kind of messes up sometimes because I probably eat his or too many. They're so easy to eat when they're hot. So we're gonna put these in, and with this, you can save this. You can put this in the fridge. A lot of times, so I don't eat so many, I make what I want and I put the dough up for later, because if I cook all of this, I will eat all of this, and guarantee you will too, because they're just that good. So we're gonna sit this aside. We got the oven on 350, and we're gonna bake these for like 12 to 15 minutes. These may go just a little bit longer because they're bigger. All right. Okay, so now we have the cookies. We baked these for about 12 to 15 minutes. These were a little bit longer. As you can see, they're a lot bigger, but I just had to add the little small ones in. But anyway, so we're gonna take this cookie, place it on the bottom. That's how I like it. Make sure your ice cream is kind of melted pretty good. This is gonna be really good, y'all. Yeah. Get you a nice, good couple of scoops on there. This is gonna be shareable, of course, or maybe not. I like to add a little honey in the middle, and then we're gonna top it with the other cookie. And guess what? We're gonna add a little bit more honey. So we're gonna make it look pretty. And of course, if you eat peanut butter cookies, you what? Love peanuts. So you can never have too much. Put your extra little peanuts around there and get you a spoon. You know what? Let's add some whipped cream. That always spices it up. There we go. There is our peanut butter cookie ice cream sandwich topped with honey and peanuts. Thank you guys for joining us. And again, my name is Chef E. I am on Instagram as chef_E_experience. You can find all of these recipes and much more on there. Please go like and share and follow me, please. And don't forget, the secret ingredient is always love.